Gone in. Hey, what time a brave into Oda. Social media pressure, Jaimini and Yampa. I saw from try it, yes, the bank waba. Who want to pay me a tone, we are so biancha wasa. My packet, Missika de Coquasa, say, Obi and him come to my boy, Papa, ye, Obi Pondasi. Ayo, a bravo, a tiny, better than a compo. What package ya and fa? Is it by force to speak some brofo? Yeah, fancy boy, a virgin. What's what ya yell bedding? Okro, we're watching the landing, and you tiatio, my brethren. And to forget me in the asa, forget me in the asa, no biadeka, forget me in the asa, yes, cute. Today. Oh, yeah. Getcha. Medas.
Let's go.
Let's go. Good. Done good. Whatever, wherever. Right. Yeah, I saw lots of stuff. But hey, it's Friday. Live. Something extra. So let's get right into it. Well, today's episode following Microsoft that actually allows us create bots. Very simple, normal way. So this episode, continuing where we left off, talking how to create. This is one of the things that most bot frameworks that make, but interruptions, open, cancel interaction. Come back. That's but first, let's see. Awesome. Forgive me for having kind of like sound issue because I actually just yes enough. Let's see. Well, we can have some fun. So, as you know it, before we get started, I always happening. Well, ignites this past week. Awesome. A lot of things happening. Well, let's get into what is happening. Let's get right in. Yep. Yep. So the first of it, the Microsoft Trade West Africa Cloud Boot. As you can see, a couple of things on that thing that we need. But so this is the MCT West Africa Cloud Bootcamp. Great, great guys from Africa, from Azure to to Microsoft Power Platform, everything covered. It's actually 8 days or 8 Saturdays. This coming Saturday, lots of speakers, lots of subsequent ones logged on, register, have an awesome experience that's going. Don't forget tomorrow happening um from it's happening from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's GMT. West Africa, China. Um, if you're in Ghana, it's 1 to 5 p.m. But if you're in Nigeria, uh, 12 to 4. All right. Yep. Next thing we have is the global Microsoft 365 booth. Yes, this is global because it's happening around the world in different all over the world. In Ghana, there are three events that's going to happen. The first one is happening tomorrow, being held by Microsoft users in Ghana. It's all virtual. Abu and his Conde and his starting they are kicking off tomorrow. So if you've not signed up, go check out the Microsoft user group, sign up and enjoy lots of speakers. That will be followed by Dawood one for Tamale, virtual event for Tamale. So if you have not also registered, check that out. Check Dawood's one out and also that. And the final one is a collaboration with Dakar Identity Power Platform hosting a global. Ours is going to be in Bimba the last week because we have series speakers.net speakers that all that going. We push hours all the way. So have this on your calendar. Don't have fun when you start getting in. And then something amazing and something awesome to happen. November there. It's Power Africa, as you can see, Azure and Power Platform. Mark your date, mark your calendar, because this is very awesome. Guarantee. Mark your calendars. Awesome event. Well, that is the end of all the announcements. Now we can get straight into it. Yeah. So last two mainstream last week, I mean, there was Ignite and a lot of things going on. So we started to know as a courtesy to Ignite and all the other events happening. We started, Well, so in today's episode, we're going to be talking about interaction, how to create dialogues for our application. We actually saw how to connect to an API, then make a request. So if you missed it, go check out last two episodes. Or if you're joining us, welcome to this. We're live on Twitter. We're live on so, so check us out on any other platforms. That's on. Yep. All right. Awesome. So let's get into it. So this episode we're going to be talking about interactions. Now, what are interactions? Have you ever been having a conversation or interacting with, and then you want to? So let's say the bot is supposed to tell you about let's say maybe the bot is supposed to tell you about the daily special, right? And in the middle of getting the special, you're like, oh, I want to know what the weather is. You want to check context. Most of the bots, most of the bot frameworks have issues. So you don't get an interactive bot that is able to switch context, answer you, and come back to what you were doing, right? So in today's episode, we're going to see how to do that interaction. And we're going to see how to add cancel and help dialogues or that we can actually use interrupt our weather flow, right? Last week, we connected to the weather API, able to get weather information by passing in code. Homework was to go change that to accept a for the weather API. That's what we're trying to do. So let's go ahead as usual. My recommend. Here we go. Sorry, this talking about. I don't know why. Earlier on today, power company power minister has been messing around. I don't know why, but yeah, try to do our best. Right. So let's open a board composer. Then, as always, we're going to open our bot emulator so that we actually uh, Oh, let's open that. For this, go check out our preview how set this up, right? So, uh, so Kofi Ghana bot, let's open. That's what we'll be working on all these now. Let's, and if you want to follow along, I'm actually gonna URL to check that out. Yeah, so if we just start the bot, just to show what we, just a quick recap about where we are. Go ahead. Once it's done, copy the URL locally for the steps. Copy the bot URL connect. Yeah, that here. Hey, I'm Kofi Ghana. I have the latest. So if I see what's the weather like, right? Kofi tell me, all right, let's do this. Provide a zip code if I create a well, goes in there, then there you go. The weather is clear and the temperature is right. That is done. If I say Kofi, I want the weather in, come back and say right on, please provide a zip code, and I'll say 978. I know very well. Goes in there and so at this point, this is what we've done. Now, if let's say I go ahead and say uh what's the weather, right? Now, and right now it is asking, sure, let's check the weather. Okay. And I say help. You realize that it says help is not a valid zip code. Now, what we're trying to do is what we call an interruption. We want to change the context of the having with it. Now, realize that by default, this doesn't happen. It's not able to, right? Now, that is what we are going today, right? We are going to see how we can add cancel and a help functionality or help dialog or help trigger or action. Then we can now allow our bots to interruption, switch back to the context, answer that question, come back and say, hey, we're doing something, can we continue something in that that light. So let's take it from there. So to do this, what we're going to do is that we're going to add help cancel dialog, right? Let's minimize job. Yeah, add what and dialog. I'm going to call this dialog help. And then I'll say this is file. Let's give it a log, right? Okay. Then so this creates the help dialog you press. Now, what we're going to do is that in the begin dialog, what we want to do is we're going to create a new action, right? And let's go ahead and then say we're going to just send, right? Okay, so helps. Let's just say time you call help. I am a weather bot. No. Let's say name Kofi Ghana. I have all the have all the let's use I have all the gist, comma, right? Or let's say yes a weather, right? Let's add another one. Hello. This is your buddy, Ghana, comma. Just ask about weather, right? Awesome. So we have two responses. So which means when this dialogue is activated, right? When this dialogue is activated, what's going to happen is that it is um going to say one of these things as a response, right? Let's go ahead. Let's select Ghana bot, and as of now I realize that our recognizer is a regular expression, right? So it's just quite easy that it's just going to use normal regular expression where it's like help or anything as we specify. That's going to work. So let's go ahead. Then create a trigger. Remember, you create a dialog and you create a trigger that calls that. Let's go ahead. Trigger, right? Uh, then this is going to use an intent recognizer. Then we're going to help. Right now, I did something here. Now let me cancel this. Now I selected, the help dialog, and then I created a trigger that immediately actually assigns it, right? Now, another way you can do that is I can just select the main bot, click here, and then um, add a trigger, right? The main bot. Let's and it's an intent recognizer, as you can regular expression. I'll select our type help. So anywhere it sees help, all right, it would recognize this. Then when this done, what we want to do is dialogue what's management dialogue, right? Um, this is it. Okay. So I selected this, right? Select this one, okay, right? Then oh, that one. So yep. So what we did was select this one, okay? Then select dialog manager. Then you select what? Child scrappy. Select begin dialog, right? So that's the flow. Let's go ahead, dialog. Then this time we come to the right here, okay? The right. Then we select from the dialog name on the dialog that we want to when that happens. Let's go ahead. Select. This will be the help dialog. That's done. Go ahead. Start our bot. We are not adding any properties to it. We're just adding it. Now, if we restart our bot, okay. Now let's copy this, right? Then let's go back here. Oh, we're going to start with a new ID. So he said, "Hey, I'm a friendly," because you can actually, right? Then I say weather. Okay. Now you realize that it's saying sure, let's do. Now, what if now in the middle of the weather, I go ahead and type help, even though there is a help dialog, all right? But it was going to tell me, oops, I don't think you provided a valid. Okay, why is this happening? This is because course, at the this particular the bot is not allowing interruption for this dialogue, right? The weather dialogue is not allowing interruptions. When it's running, it doesn't want to be interrupted. Okay, so what we're going to do now is now we're going to allow for it interruptions. Okay, so let's go back to our bot and let's go to Ghana. Select get weather, right? This is the get weather dialogue, right? So we go to section where we bot ask right here. What we want to do is to go right the properties, right? Right. So what we want to do is we want to go to the other tab. So once you select that user bot ask question, go all the way to the other tab. Okay. Now what's happening is that if you go here, let me then great. Now you realize that here, right? There is allow interruption, right? By default, this is set to false, right? So this means that when you are in the interaction, so we're in the dialogue for getting the weather, okay, it doesn't allow for interruptions. But to make our bot allow interruptions, very useful. What we can do is set this value true, so that going forward, even when we're in the middle of asking for weather, we can now say we can change the context and say, hey, how about you tell me help or you give, right? Let's go ahead and let me change that. Allow interruption. Okay. Now this is done. That's the bot that I'll change effect. Now we go ahead, come here and that. If you watch carefully, I'll say, hey, Kofi, what's the weather? Right? Kofi says, all right, let's do this now. But before we do it, give me your zip code. But I'll say that, oh, before I give you your zip code, Kofi, help me. You see it? It says that, hey, my name is Kofiana. I have all the just weather. All right. Then it comes back and says, now, which zip code are we checking for weather? Right? It remembers that we were in the weather context trying to get the zip code for, for the weather. But then we decided to ask for help. I can now ask for help as many times as I want. Kofi will go back and tell me, hello, this is me, and then ask me, what zip code are we looking for further? Then I can say, what, 975, go out there and what? All right. So that is how to enable interaction. Quite and simple, right? Now that we've learned how to, create the help, let's go ahead and create a global cancel so that I can actually cancel or move out of a particular dialogue or any dialogue at all, right? So to do that, let's go back to bot. Then, yeah, Ghana bot, let's dialogue. Then we'll call this would file cancel log, right? Then this what we want to do is we're going to send a response. Then in here, we'll just go ahead and say, let's say canceling all, just say canceling. Or I'll say start, let's do a start phase. Start phase. let's see. Uh, thank, thanks for spending time. So this will be possible responses if in the midst of the canceling, right? Then we can go down and dialogue management, cancel all what active dialogues. That's it. So now what happens is that when you call this particular one, it knows that it has to cancel all dialogues. And now, then the next thing is that we're going to create an intent recognizer, right? And then to create the cancel intent, then we're going to also go back to the weather bot and then allow it to what specify that. So let's go ahead. Let's yeah, let's create. Go ahead. Yeah, intent recognizer. Let's see. All this once done. Called dialogue man dialogue. What's going to happen is that now when you call the cancel, right? Uh, and the weather, okay, because now the weather dialog allows for interruption. Cancel allow you to this done back here. That so I'll say that by saying that help and contest give us a help and then check this out. Canceling that actually right. If I say weather again, that begin help right. Then I'll say cancel. Thanks for saying right. So that is how you create interruption. Okay. Now, so when I realize that once we, though we are asking for weather, we can interrupt the bot and ask for help, or we can interrupt the bot and ask for something. That is how easy to do it. And don't forget, you have to go into the dialogue, right, where it says ask bot. Go to the other tab, way down here. There is allow interruption. Set that to true. Bots can right? Now we got some time. So I want us to talk about something that is cool. You've seen me a couple of times in terms of the language and so you realize that here I actually created a few templates over here. So what happens is that when this is called, the bot can pick for this font. Now there's even something more cooler to it. Let's go ahead and show. So I want to show you how to the language generation, right? So right here, where we see the sender response, let's go into welcome. Let's let's go to the not done covered yet. Let's go. Let's do the welcome. Yep. Here the welcome, right? So so far we just have one, one dynamic that says one template, right? That says, hey, I'm Kofi Ghana. I have the link COVID and all that. Now, how about add a few more? You remember that added a few. Okay. Um, let's add a few. You know this already, so I don't need to bore you with. So let's see. Aquaba. this. Ghana. The smartest um virtual. Oh, let's virtual a town. How can I help you? Right. So with this, anytime we call the bot, you have another set of answers you give. Now, at this point, you're very familiar with this. There's nothing interesting about this. Restart the bot and we restart again. I mean, this is very simple, right? But the reason why language generation is very powerful is what I'm going to show you right now. Let's go. Yeah, let's restart. Now let's check this. Aquaba, this. Oh, okay. We have to check this. So I wanted to say I am Kofi Ghana, the smartest intelligent town. How can I help you? Start again. Probably pick one of the other ones. Hi, I'm Kofi Ghana. I have the latest of it as you can. Right. So let's go and Baba Baba Ghana. So up until this point, fine, we can keep populating any stuff we want. Then over time, AI will help us generate. Now, one of the cool things that I want us to do that currently go to get weather, right? And we look at the response. Take a look at the response. All it's saying the weather is gives us the weather and the temperature is that is very boring, right? Now, how about okay? How about if we can actually do something really cool, right? If we can do something awesome, right? We'll change it. This is where the language generation template comes in, where you can craft templates, use them with. Now, to do this, let's switch to edit mode, okay, and then go to our bot response. Right, let's do our bot response. Don't know where the bot responses are. If you click here on the left, right here, okay, click on this, opens the application. You have home, design, bot responses, desk, publish, connecting subsequent episodes, start to quick scale. But right now we're just going through the process. We'll see how to publish this as well, how to add Q. So if you like this, you can subsequent episode to show how to do it. So bot responses, where is yep, yeah. So bot response what we want, yeah, right here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click on bot response. Right. Let's look at bot response. Now with the bot responses selected, let's go to the get weather. Right. This is where we have a response. And do you see this? You realize that let's come here. So these are all the responses, right? As you can see, send. Let's check the weather right on. These are all of it. The names is this is a send activity. This is a text prompt. What is your so this is another text unrecognized prompt. So it gives us cool stuff. Now, another thing we can do, okay, one thing we can do from here is to go ahead, all right, go to the edit at this point. So this is just what you're seeing here, okay? What you're seeing here, this is just the name. This is just the name of that template that you can use to reference it of your response because it's added to the bot response, right? So let's go to edit mode, and if you don't know where the edit mode, right, just a shift. You can see the status of all the template, right? The language template, language generation templates that are used. So let's flip edit mode. Now you can see that edit mode, you are able to, edit. You're able to edit the responses, give them names. Here they are created. It begins with a hash, which gives you template. Okay. Then, as you can see, the dash, and then you. All right, cool. So let's go ahead, create something. Now, one thing to note is that if you remember the last time I actually copied this, okay, I'll just paste this. I'll just delete. Right? Don't be worried about that. So the last time, check this. Call the endpoint. Realize that this this was the output that was being um, provided. Okay, so there's the ID, that ID, and have the and we have the icon. We use the icon in the card subsequent, and then we have what? We have the weather, we have the temperature, high, have the low, and check this out. We have what? Okay, what we can do is we can use this information, all right, create a template that gives us a more interesting, right? Let's get this out of the way. So I'm going to borrow some code. I'm going to paste it down here. I'll explain it. Okay, that is okay. Let's go ahead. Let me explain. Now, realize that first of all, a couple of things. Now, this here is a template called what? Describe weather. And just like any function, this is accepting a parameter of what? Weather. Okay. So when you call this describe weather language generated template, pass it an object called weather. Okay. And if you remember what I just showed, right? The weather could contain a lot of things, right? Just to put us on the right path, what I can do is that let's go. Let's open the open weather API. This is the open weather API, right? That's what we're using, right? Is it? So I just want us to take a look at this. Okay, so look at this. So you see, you can have um, weather by city ID, by geographic coordinate, a whole lot of things, right? But what on check? Let's go to it. You know, you need an account to, right? So let's where is that? Yeah, go. Let's add document. Yep, open up. I just want us to um the various. Okay, so okay. Let's do. We are using zip code. Ah well, yeah, current weather. Okay. I just want to show. I just want to show what code. So what we are doing is by zip code, right? So you code app ID, pass all that. Then what does it? call for central. Yep, and there you go. Tens, coordinate, longitude, latitude. Then tens, tens, um, weather, as you can weather the so yeah, pretty cool. If you look at the weather, okay, there you go. So there's weather, okay, that gives us the weather IDs. So for instance, rainy, snow, extreme. All these are like various properties of weather that would. So I just wanted to illustrate the various things. So now we look at this template. What I'm saying is that I'm going to pass in weather. And if the weather is the object, the weather object, remember, have that stored in um, our dialog.weather. Dialog.weather is going to give weather object. Saying that if the weather dot the weather, which is the response, is cloudy, then we say it's cloudy. Okay, else we say there's a thunderstorm and all that. All right. So let's start the bot. Knowing this very well. Okay, and let's go and run it again. How tells us. So it's either going to tell us one of those prefixes, or it's just going to tell us the weather is. Go ahead. That. Let's see. Yeah. Good. Let's pass as it. Yeah. Generate that. The weather is clear. Now let's just do it again. I just wanted to put something. Let's say 5. Okay. The weather is clear. The temperature is okay. Let's restart with the ID. Let's call weather. I just want to get that. Yeah. So if I start with ID, tell me weather, right? It goes through it and it's there. Now let's make it very evident. What I'm going to do is that describe weather. Now I need to go ahead and then add it. Okay. Now let's go ahead our design. Let's go to the get weather. As you can see, the response. Yeah. Okay. Now in the response, now that I have a template, what I'm going to do now is put a hyphen there, and you remember it is called what? Let's do um let's call the template. It's called what? Listen. Let's do describe weather. Then if you remember, you have to pass something. In our case, is what? Dialog.weather. That's the more reason why we put everything quotes, right? Right, and describe weather. Okay, and this time instead of weather, we are passing dialog weather. That's what we're passing. So what this is going to do, is going to return whether it is cloudy, sunny, whatever that is. Then we can say and the 10 is this have dialog. let's do dialog.weather temp. Right now, I even wanted to spice it up a bit. Okay, so what I did was I also came up with my own template, right? And I'm going to add that bit, and it's just very simple. All that is doing the weather in the weather in is all that. So I'm just adding a few stuff. Okay, let's restart our bot, then go back and now test it. That now we've created a template, all right, from the responses that looks like this. Cool, right? Start our bot as that's happening. Right. And now come here and then restart. Now check this out. When I say weather, this one spelled it wrongly. Now that's because we are using a regular expression recognizer. Subsequent episode, I'll show you how to use the Lewis understanding. That will be able to pick this up. So if I spell it wrong, let's do 978 and check this out. What do we have? The weather is clear and the temperature is there. Let's try that again. Let's see what else we get. Let's say 5. See that? It says the sky is clear and the temperature is, well, this is probably because it's not returning, not getting the temperature from this particular call, right? So, or probably sky is clear. Temperature, I think it has something responsive. I did. Where's the sky? The sky is clear. Yeah, so this side is correct, but I think, yeah, watch this. So instead of temp, I only said, that's why I said, there you go. At the bot, they should pick up the change. Now, if you have any questions, I think this time, um, pop them in there since we're nearing the end of our session. Weather, it, out, the weather in Twiting is clear and the type. This has added template language. I've been able to create some cool, generator template that will respond as they call this bot. So recap. Today we've been able to interruption. If I say weather, even though I'm in the process of asking whether I can help, right? And then it will say, hey, my name is Kofiana, I have all the weather, all right? It answered that question, came back to say, but now give me the zip, right? Let's try 9855. Hope there's a correct zip. I don't know where it is, but correct zip code. Yeah, I got an error. City not found. Yes. So at least our bot is giving us some very interesting responses. So that is what we did. And then we said that if I'm also in it, we created another interruption for cancel. When I cancel, it starts to see actions. And what a coincidence. Start to see you guys leave in today's session. But it's been very interesting. We've learned how to do this. Now, what I'll be showing you next week, I'm going to give you a glimpse of what I'm going to show you. I'll give you. I'll leave you, you know, yearning for it. So next week, I'm going to be showing you how to incorporate cards, buttons, or how to create your own like button, how to add cards for them to display a very cool way instead of just typing and all that. So I'll show you that next. So if this was used, right, like it and want to support the channel, hit this button right here. Don't forget to hit the bell to subscribe. That get it. So until I come your way again next week with another awesome. Before we do that, let's go ahead and actually let's go and check off the done, just like we do. So we checked our prompt, user to ask questions, done that. Today we did handle what? Interruption, global cancel, and we did what? Language to power your. So next episode, we're going to see how to what? Send responses to card, generate buttons. Actually, yeah, who does this? Yep. So next episode, I'm going to show you how to send response cards and buttons. Then the subsequent episode, we're going to how to use AI powered. Right. So till I come your way again next week with another awesome hack. Stay safe. Make sure you join either the Microsoft 365 Bootcamp starting tomorrow, or you're also joining the MC Cloud Bootcamp 20. Learn something. Stay safe. Let's enjoy life. Let's all be, let's all be kind. Let's make the world a better place. Then I am